Thank you. So thank you all once again, brothers and sisters, for being here. It's such a pleasure to see you all here. Also such a pleasure to see our brothers and sisters joining through Zoom. Wherever you are, welcome, and look forward to seeing you again. So during this week, I'm going to give the service today and think about the topic to talk about today. I've been thinking a lot about, because today after the service, we're going to have this lunch for the Living Cert. So once more, congratulations to all who did the Living Cert. And, it's a big step in life when you finish high school, when you're finishing a step in your life. So there might be like a question. So what is my purpose? What is the thing that will drive me to fulfill my purpose and feel whole? So for the service of today, I chose a topic, life of purpose. Victor, can you just put full screen, please? View, go view. No, view, yeah. Full screen mode. There, down there?
Near the bottom,
Almost there? Yes. Okay, got it. So can you go to the next slide, please? Okay, so I think all of us here at a certain point in our lives, we were students. We passed by kindergarten, middle school, high school, college, master's, PhD, whatever. I stopped in master's. I don't want to pursue a PhD. I'm okay for now. The academy life for me is over for now. But I think at some point in our lives, all of us asked, what is my purpose? I think all of you have questioned yourselves about that. And when this question comes in mind, there's also these questions like, what do I want to be? What are my goals? What are my dreams? What do I want to do with my life? I'm sure that all of us here have encountered these questions in our lives, but you know that I highlighted the I, my. Why I highlighted that? Because sometimes if we only think of ourselves, if you only think, what is my purpose? We're forgetting something. We are doing a self-centered decision. We are doing a self-centered question. But the thing is, we didn't come to Earth by ourselves. We didn't come here to Earth out of nowhere by accident. We know that we come on a foundation, and in the end, we are heavenly parents, sons and daughters, correct? So if I focus on this question centered on myself, it's hard to find clear answers. It's hard to find the clear purpose. It's hard to find our purpose while centering on ourselves, only centering on ourselves in our goals. So to answer properly these questions, we should verticalize. We should unite with our heavenly parent. Can you go to the next slide, please, Victor? So the purpose of my life, of our lives, is so much greater than just my own personal fulfillment or happiness. It's much greater than career and ambitions. I'm not saying they're not important. They are important. But the purpose of all of this has to go somewhere. And the purpose of our lives has to begin with our heavenly parent, our heavenly parents, because they are our parents after all, right? So sometimes, for example, in my life, I encountered situations in which I was completely lost. I didn't know how to say what to say. I didn't know what to do. I was in a completely mess in my mind, many running thoughts in my mind going on, like, oh my God, I was already having like some sort of panic attack. So, oh my God, what should I do? I'm completely lost. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. But then my parents, my father and my mom, seeing me in that situation, as they also have their own experiences, they could guide me to choose the right path. They could guide me to choose the right way and make the good decision. Of course, they didn't like force on me. They made a choice. Okay, you have the choice to follow it. We're just showing you the way. So it's up to you to follow this path. And thanks to their for their guidance, sorry. I could choose the right path. I could choose the right thing to do. So it's the same thing with the purpose of our lives. We know that our Heavenly Parent is our parent, is in the name, Heavenly Parent. So if we feel lost in finding our purpose, we should internalize and verticalize with God and ask, what is the purpose of my life? And we have to be sure that our life here on earth is really precious, is really important. We didn't come here by chance. Each one of us has come here to fulfill your purpose centered on God. And fulfilling this purpose, I'm sure that will make you feel whole, will make you feel fulfilled in your life, not just in the external part, but also in the internal part. So if you are to understand the purpose of our lives, you must begin with God, because God is our creator, is our father. He created everything. He created all this world for us. He gave us knowledge. He gave us the conscience to guide us. And, sometimes God cannot be with us all the time, but he put the conscience in us so we can choose the right path. And the conscience, sometimes we try to ignore the little voice that's inside us as our conscience, but we cannot deny the conscience, the guidance of our conscience too. So we could spend a lifetime speculating and guessing at what our purpose is. We could just be wondering, because of course there are people who are still wondering, what is my purpose? What should I do in life? There might be people who still are looking and, wondering what should I do, and becoming sort of inertia that they cannot go out of it. So, or instead of speculating and guessing and trying to, like I said, my personal experience, just getting stuck, we could just start and ask our Heavenly Parent who created us. So if you feel lost, we should have some, for example, you're doing hiking, you lose the track, and you're like, oh my God, where should I go? Should I go backwards? Or should I do? I think Samuel, Daniel, and the mechanics are more experienced in hiking. I don't know if you guys experience like feeling lost in some hiking trails. I don't know. But if you have, for example, a compass, it's a really good thing. If you know like already the way, if you're like, okay, no, I remember that I should go straight, or I should turn right, I should turn left. Okay. Or maybe, I don't know, if your parents already went there and they already told you like, okay, you should go, if you follow this obstacle, you should do this, you should do that way. So in the same way with our lives, if you feel lost in finding our purpose, let us ask our parent, because God, as our parent, know us pretty well, even more than we know ourselves. We might not even notice, because God is our creator. So can you go on the next, please? So in the section 3 of divine principle, the section 3 of the principle of creation, the second chapter of the first part of divine principle, it further elaborates that we cannot experience joy or fulfillment without fulfilling our purpose. Okay, that's logical. Without fulfilling our purpose, we cannot feel joy, we cannot feel fulfilled. But the section 3 of the principle of creation further elucidates that God created us to experience joy through fulfilling the 3 great blessings. So God already gave us a guideline in order to fulfill our purpose, which is the 3 great blessings. So it's not, the 3 points in here are not the exact terms of the principle, but it elucidates in a better way, I believe. So the first blessing is to grow, in order to grow our filial love in relation with God, the individual perfection in which in our lives we fulfill, we strengthen our character, we develop our relationship with God, in which we, at certain point, we become one with God, one mind and one body with God. And the second blessing would be to develop a family in the four rooms of heart. So in the second blessing, so we need someone who also is united with God, we form a family, and then we experience the love, the conjugal love, the parents' love, the siblings' love, and God's love. And third and foremost is to dominate, in which is our contribution to our world community. So through our family, through our ideal family, we can expand it to the society, the world, and bring this world and make it into a world community, because we're all sons and daughters of God. And I'm sure that I'm gonna elucidate a little bit more further ahead, but just already giving a heads up, True Mother has been investing a lot in the second and third gen. She has put all her efforts in educating the second gen. Why is that? Because she said that we must study, we should become people in which we can use our professions, we can use our talents to bring to, expand the providence and then bring peace to the world, help the providence. So True Mother is investing a lot in education programs, workshops and everything. I know because of COVID, we had to do a pause, but I believe since 2015, 16, 17, with the Global Top Gun and also other educational programs, she's expanding it because we have to, develop our skills, develop our talents in order to bring back to the society. And the society, of course, if you have some sort of education or title, you're going to be respected. And when if people know that you belong to our community, they'll have a different look out of it. They'll have a complete different look. So I say for my own experience, I'm sorry if I'm using myself so much, but when I heard these words from True Mother, when she started, investing a lot in the education of the second gen, I made a determination that I would use my studies because I have a bachelor in nutrition and I have a master's in health science. And I made a determination that I would use my bachelor, I would use my education to help out the province in some way. So and contribute in some way with the skills and things that I've learned through my studies. So I don't know if I'm doing a good job at it, but I'm trying. I'm trying to, apply the knowledge that I've learned for more than 10 years of my life to, bring back some good results for the province, help the community. And good news, brothers and sisters, finally was able to get my permit, so be finally able to get to work. So I hope I can apply it well. So yes, thank you. After 1 year, almost 1.5 years of wait. Yes, did it. Yes. So we have to find our purpose in order to, not just feel our self-fulfillment, but also to contribute to our community, because we don't belong only to our own nest. We belong to our community. So if we find our purpose, I'm sure that each one of you here have your own set of talents and skills. And if we work together, I know we can bring lots of joy and glory to our heavenly parents and true parents, and consequently to our community and our society. Can I please go next slide, Victor? So, of course, 3 great blessings, great. But each one of us discovers how we uniquely fulfill the 3 great blessings in our lives, because each one of us has to go through a different course. We all come from different outcomes. Here we have people from different countries. I think I belong to the one that is like the farthest country. I'm from Brazil, so like the other side of the ocean. So like each one of us has our own course, and each one of us will find a way to fulfill these 3 great blessings, because we come from different outcomes, different countries, cultures. So we'll find our own way to fulfill the 3 great blessings. So we strive for maturity in heart and character, lasting love in our families, and to discover our unique mission in life. So as I said, I'm from Brazil, so it's a bit far from here. So like 12 hours by plane, let's say, with no stops. Unfortunately, there's no direct flights from here to Brazil yet. I hope they're gonna install soon. But yeah. Each one of us we are going through a path in which we are maturing ourselves, creating connections with people in our community, with people outside of our community, also, let's say, reinforcing and bonding more with our families, with our siblings, with our parents, with our relatives. And then with our own set of skills, we find our way in life. So, for example, I like science. I like to do experiments. I like to study plants. I like to develop new medicines. And I don't know, each one of you here likes some hobbies or some sphere in science, let's say, or sports, whatever it is. So each one of us, don't compare each other. Don't compare yourselves to each other, because each one of us has our own path. But of course, the goal is the same for all of us, is to feel joy and to fulfill God's, oh, good. Okay, so, so let's keep going, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so we have no time to waste. Have no time to waste at all. So I'm 26 years old and I feel like, wow, I still have a lot to accomplish. So I feel you guys who just did you're still in school or just finished here the Living Cert. I think it must be like, oh my God, I have to go to college. Oh no, it's just another step. It's gonna take so much time. But you cannot waste this time. You're all young. We're all young here. So our time here on earth is an opportunity to expand our heart and learn how to love, not just inside our families, but also expand our love to our communities, to the world, and become, peace-loving global citizens, as our true father set the example. So if we recognize the foundation we stand on, so each one of you here stand on a great foundation. I see here that the foundation that you have is so unique and is so precious. So if you acknowledge the amount and the greatness and the value of the foundation that you stand on, it's something to be proud of. It's something to take to the heart and, proudly stand and be like, well, because I see that through two parents united two nations, two completely different nations, through the blessing. And through the blessing, our parents created a family that lives according to God's principle. And seeing everything that our parents, our older generations made, is something to be really proud of. It's something to be like, oh my gosh, I'm really honored to be standing on this foundation. So please don't ignore the foundation that you stand on. Don't forget the foundation that your parents prepared for you, because this is our basis. This is our basis. And also, if we recognize the task entrusted to us, we discover the unique gift we have to contribute. Each one of us here has a gift. Each one of you here has a gift in which you can specialize, in which you can feel joy, in which you are an expert. So we need you. We need all of you. All of you here is really important and precious, and we need all of you, no exception. And as we come to understand our value as God's sons and daughters, we cultivate a heart of filial piety. Again, when I said in the beginning, we come from Heavenly Parent. Our Heavenly Parent is our parent. So we have to understand also the value, of course, the foundation that we stand on from our families, and also the value that we have to be the direct son and daughter of our Heavenly Parents. We have to also acknowledge that and cultivate a heart of filial piety towards our Heavenly Parent. Serve our Heavenly Parents, because a heart of filial piety is to serve the parents, not just in a strict way, but with a loving way. You serve them with joy, you serve them with pleasure. You don't feel like, oh my God, I have to serve, I have to do this, I have to do that. No, you feel that it's your mission, it's your son and daughter. It's the same thing when children are helping the parents. When the children helps the parents feel completely full with joy, I believe. I think the parents here might agree with me. So when we cultivate this heart of filial piety, not just towards our family, but also to our Heavenly Parents, we come to understand more of our purpose in life. And this brings clarity to our actions, choices, and direction in life, and creates a confidence that God can work powerfully through us to develop a culture of heart, a culture of Hyojong. So all of this, recognizing the foundation that we stand on, and recognizing the task and the talents and set of skills that we have, and understanding our value as sons and daughters of our Heavenly Parent, and having this relationship, father and son, or parents and child relationship with their Heavenly Parent, cultivating this heart of filial piety, we come to understand and God can work and guide us in order to fulfill wholly and fully our purpose here in life. Can you go on the next slide, please? So, brothers and sisters, to close our service for today, going through this topic of life of purpose, there were many quotes regarding life of purpose, but I believe also through Father in his autobiography, he has a special chapter directed to students, like the purpose of our studies. And this quote, it comes from True Father's autobiography, and I would like to read this quote to end, to finish our service for today. To set your objective is to give meaning to the life you will lead. Your goals should be about where your talents can have the most impact. So you should think of the world as your stage as you decide what you want to do in life. If you do, you will likely find many more things to do than what you were originally dreaming about. You have only one life to live, so use it to do something that the world needs. You cannot reach the hidden treasure on an island without adventure. Please think beyond your own country and think of the world as your stage in setting your goal. So can you go to the next slide, please? So brothers and sisters, thank you so much for listening to the service today. And I want to conclude the service with a prayer. Please join me in prayer. Our dearest Heavenly Parents and true parents, really grateful for this day and being here united with our brothers and sisters in this special occasion, gathered here in your home here in Ireland. Heavenly Parents, sometimes we struggle to find our purpose in life. Sometimes we struggle to find that fine line. We struggle to find the flame in our hearts that can guide us and guide us forever. But we know that by ourselves, if we are self-centered, we cannot really find our purpose. And we know that you as our Heavenly Parent, you know that you love us a lot, and you have a really bright path designed for us. So you already prepared everything. You prepared the foundation through our parents. You prepared the set of foundation through our good ancestors with their merit that allowed us to be here today. And really grateful, Heavenly Parent, for all the directions that you give us. And we will continue to return glory and joy to you through our own set of skills, because we are all unique and we all give joy to you in different ways, and we feel fulfilled. So please, Heavenly Parent, guide and protect each one of our brothers and sisters here, and our brothers and sisters all over Ireland who could not come here in person, but they are connected with heart to you. And I'm really grateful, Heavenly Parent, for having the opportunity to be connected to you and to develop this filial piety relationship with you. So because we are your children, so we want to make you proud. We want you to be happy. And we know that we can make you happy in our own way with our skills and our abilities. So Heavenly Parent, keep inspiring us, and please never abandon us, so we can continue working together to bring joy and to bring this world into peace, into world peace, to bring this world and make the world one family under God. This is our goal, and with our abilities, we are sure that we can fulfill our purpose and also enjoy our lives and develop our lives in order to fulfill our purpose and feel joy and feel fulfilled through you. Thank you, Heavenly Parents and true parents, for this opportunity. And we want to offer all of our brothers and sisters, all of our congregation here, and I want to offer this prayer so we can close our service of today in the name of all of us here. In the name of me and Victoria Noble de la Corte, a Central Blessed Family, June. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you very much. So for our final song, let's sing all together Song of the Garden, and then